My name is Ethan, and what I am about to recount is a tale that has haunted my every waking moment. It began in the small, forgotten town of Blackwood, nestled deep in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. Blackwood was a place untouched by time, its streets lined with ancient oaks that seemed to guard their secrets with gnarled limbs. The story of the Seedeater, as it came to be known, unfolded in hushed whispers among the townsfolk. They spoke of a figure that stalked the night, its presence heralded by a chorus of mournful wails. Some claimed it was a vengeful spirit, while others believed it to be a creature of the wild, summoned by ancient forces, intrigued by the enigma that shrouded the Seedeater. I delved into the annals of local folklore and sought out those who claimed to have encountered this elusive entity. Their accounts painted a portrait of a being that defied explanation, a force that seemed to exist beyond the boundaries of mortal understanding. One cold autumn evening, as the last rays of sunlight bathed Blackwood in a golden hue, I heard it, the mournful wail that echoed through the stillness of the town. It was a sound that sent shivers down my spine, a keening cry that seemed to carry with it the weight of untold sorrow. Driven by a mixture of fascination and trepidation, I embarked on a quest to uncover the truth behind the Seedeater. I combed through ancient texts and consulted with local experts, seeking any mention of this enigmatic being. The more I learned, the more I realized that the Seedeater was not a solitary entity. It was part of a larger tapestry of supernatural forces that had woven themselves into the fabric of the land. As the days turned to weeks, I immersed myself in the mysteries of Blackwood, determined to unearth the secrets that had been buried for generations. I walked the same cobbled streets that the Seedeater was said to haunt, my senses heightened to every whisper in the wind, and then, one fateful night, I saw it. The Seedeater. It stood amidst the ancient oaks, its form a shadowy silhouette against the moonlit sky. Its eyes, two glimmering orbs, seemed to pierce through the veil of the night, holding me in a gaze that transcended time itself. In that moment, I understood. The Seedeater was not a mere specter or creature of the wild. It was a guardian, a sentinel that watched over Blackwood with a solemn vigilance. It was a force that commanded both reverence and awe, a being that existed at the intersection of the natural and supernatural realms. As abruptly as it had appeared, the Seedeater vanished into the night, leaving me standing alone in the embrace of the ancient oaks. I knew then that my life had been forever changed, that I had glimpsed a truth that few would ever comprehend. From that day forward, I dedicated myself to unraveling the mysteries of the Seedeater and the ancient forces that governed its existence. I delved deeper into the folklore of the Appalachians, seeking connections to other supernatural entities that roamed the shadowed woods. As my obsession with the Seedeater grew, so did my understanding of the intricate web of supernatural forces that permeated the Appalachian Mountains. I delved into ancient manuscripts and sought out those who held fragments of forgotten lore. Each revelation brought me closer to the heart of the enigma that was the Seedeater. The townsfolk of Blackwood, initially guarded about their encounters, began to open up to me. Their stories wove a tapestry of experiences, each one a brushstroke in a portrait of an entity that defied easy explanation. It was as if the Seedeater existed on the fringes of human comprehension, a being that transcended the boundaries of the known world. One particularly chilling account came from an old woman named Eliza, whose family had called Blackwood home for generations. She spoke of a time when the Seedeater was not a mere legend but a living presence, woven into the very fabric of the town's history. According to Eliza, her ancestors had whispered tales of a pact, an ancient covenant forged between the people of Blackwood and the Seedeater itself. Intrigued and determined to uncover the truth, I delved further into Blackwood's history. The town's archives yielded a trove of documents, their pages yellowed with age. It was within these records that I unearthed the fragments of the pact, cryptic passages that spoke of a symbiotic relationship between the townsfolk and the Seedeater. The entity was revered as a guardian, a protector of Blackwood and its people. Armed with this revelation, I sought out the descendants of those who had entered into this age-old covenant. Their stories offered glimpses into a past that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The Seedeater, it seemed, was not a malevolent force to be feared, but a being that had forged a connection with the human inhabitants of Blackwood, a connection that spanned generations. As I delved deeper into the pact, I came to understand its true significance. It was a testament to the delicate balance that existed between humanity and the supernatural, a reminder that our fates were intertwined with forces that existed beyond the realm of mortal comprehension. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I returned to the woods, to the very spot where I had first encountered the Seedeater. The air was charged with a palpable energy, as if the very essence of the forest responded to my presence. I spoke the words of the pact, a reverent acknowledgement of the ancient covenant that bound Blackwood and the Seedeater, and then, it happened. The air grew still, and a presence descended upon the clearing. The Seedeater materialized before me, its form a blend of shadow and moonlight. Its eyes, though devoid of human emotion, seemed to hold a wisdom that transcended the ages. In that moment, I felt the weight of centuries, the echoes of generations who had come before me. I understood that I was a part of something far greater than myself, a legacy of connection and reverence that stretched back through time. As the Seedeater stood before me, a profound sense of understanding washed over me. It was not a malevolent entity to be feared, but a guardian bound by an ancient pact. Its presence resonated with a quiet power, a force that had watched over Blackwood for centuries. In that sacred moment, the Seedeater's eyes seemed to hold a message, a silent communication that transcended words. It was as if it acknowledged my role in the continuation of this age-old covenant, a torchbearer of a tradition that had endured through the ages. As the minutes passed, I felt a sense of communion with the entity. It was as though we were two threads in the same cosmic tapestry, intertwined by fate and purpose. The boundaries between the natural and supernatural worlds blurred, and I understood that I had become a steward of a legacy that stretched back through time. With a final nod, the Seedeater faded back into the shadows, leaving me standing alone in the clearing. The weight of the encounter settled over me, a mantle of responsibility that I was both honored and humbled to bear. In the days that followed, I dedicated myself to preserving the legacy of the Seedeater and the ancient pact that bound Blackwood. I documented every encounter, every revelation, with meticulous detail, knowing that these records would serve as a testament to the enduring connection between humanity and the supernatural. Word of my discoveries spread, and others came forward with their own encounters with supernatural forces. The Seedeater, it seemed, was but one piece of a larger puzzle, a guardian among many that watched over the world in quiet vigilance. As the seasons passed, I continued my studies, delving into the lore of other guardians, each with their own stories and enigmas. It became clear that the Seedeater was not an isolated entity, but a part of a grander design, a chorus of beings that shaped the destiny of the natural world. And so, my journey continues, a quest to unravel the mysteries of the supernatural and to honor the ancient pacts that bind us to forces beyond our understanding. I walk this path with reverence and respect, knowing that I am but a small part of a much larger narrative.